I didn't know anything about teaching when I came here. I was recruited. I was at the Washington Post. I was investigative reporter, data journalist, and I was recruited to teach basically the one data journalism class that we had and anything else that I wanted to teach. My parents were teachers, my late parents were teachers, and they would just think it's hilarious that I turned out to be a teacher. Right? It was not in my game plan. But I kind of had to learn as I went along about how to be a teacher and what was really important. And oftentimes it's not exactly what's in the syllabus. We were in another building. It was really old, and but it was next to the library, so it was right on the mall on campus. So much has evolved since then in terms of what we teach and how we teach it. So I was teaching data journalism, and that was like on the cutting edge. And now we have 3, 4, 5 people teaching it, and so much more. The menu of things that we teach has just really expanded. And it's constantly in motion, it's constantly in flux to sort of respond to what's going on in the industry. Then it was, 201 was the first that students took in the college. Now it's 200. They do take it from the first day of, their first semester here. And I love it. Any teacher would tell you that they are a little nervous before the first time they go to any class, but you have a really special responsibility if you are the face of the college for freshmen. And what I've really liked is, like I teach a class now that's primarily for seniors, but almost half the class are students that I've had before, and 200 that chose to take the class again. People think you teach and then the students go on their way and you teach some more people, but you're really developing these, these relationships that can last a very, very, very long time. 23 years in one case that I can think of. There was an earlier version that was my dissertation, but I was initially interested in why there was so much pushback against using the computer as a tool in the newsroom. And so I go back to starting to do that in the mid-'80s, and a lot of people thought, that's not journalism. Computer journalism? What? It's hard to prove a negative. So I began to think about, well, how did journalism and computers first hook up? And it turned out that it was a long time ago, election night in 1952. So the book is about how and why computers got their rollout in journalism on an election night. Journalism is a way that people know what happens on election night. There's no national entity that tells us on election night who has won the election. They're finding out from news, and this idea of using early returns to predict the winner turned out was a science that evolved for decades and decades before we had computers, right? So the computers were just the newest tool. There was really this connection between election night reporting and the culture and journalism that I found kind of fascinating. And then what happened along the way was this, catastrophic election night of 2020. What are the lessons from 1952? Crisis, innovation, how can we do it? I think I'm proud of figuring out how to be a teacher, which I think I sort of figured out. And then I would just say the relationships I've built with students is, those are gold. They're just amazing. My third or fourth day as a teacher was 9/11. And I didn't really know how to be a teacher then. And we were in a classroom when the towers came down, which I didn't even know how to turn the TV on. I'm in touch with several of those students even today. What is that, 23 years later? And every year on 9/11, one of those students sends me an email to kind of remember the day and update me on her life. I had 60 students during the pandemic in 2 sections, and I would say this thing is kind of peak, that I sent the students off into a breakout room where they could do their evaluations, right? And then they were supposed to come back, all of them on the screen, and nobody was there yet. I thought, I've completely messed up something now. And my TA had her iPhone up, was about to take a picture of something. I said, what is going on? You'll see. Oh God, oh please, oh my God, seriously.
You trying to make me cry?
It was like just really sort of incredible. Yeah, you can't even put a price on that. That was a really a peak experience for me. I think we always all have to dig down and figure out like who we are, what we're about, and what is it we want to do for the other people that we are dealing with. Otherwise, you're just kind of going through the motions. Students know when you're phoning it in, by which I mean if you're just kind of going through the motions, they know that. It's not really going to be retirement. I won't be teaching anymore, but I have 2 other books that I want to do. And also over the summer, I want to put together some little videos about the book, enter the TikTok generation. My daughter and son-in-law are moving to Western New York, and they asked us if we would move with them, and we said yes. Everyone says, but it's cold and there's snow. I think, well, that's why, they made snow shovels, and just not really worried about it. So that's really kind of the goal. Well, I'm a huge fan of the dean, Raphael Laurenti. He's been my friend for a long time, and I think he's just on fire. We've done so much innovating, even just in the last couple of years. Our strength is that we can be nimble. We're not caught up in a lot of bureaucracy. If we need to go in a direction, we go in that direction. And I think Raphael is the one that really is driving that ship. And I won't be here. I'm retiring at the end of the semester, but I will be here in spirit, and I'm sure I'll still be in touch with people all the time.